You're just one prompt away from having ChatGPT spit you out God tier level copy that practically forces people to buy whatever it is you're selling. So in this video, I'm not going to gatekeep anything. You can copy this, you can jerk off to it, you can do whatever you want. But basically this works so well that you can sell anything, a fidget spinner, and make it a no-brainer offer. So if you can't sit down and pay attention for the next 33 seconds on something that will completely change the way you make your ads, then honestly, I would click off this video, go watch a Jordan Welch challenge video instead. It's probably a little bit more your speed. So now that all the ecom degens are gone, let's just get right into it. We're gonna have a product example. I'm gonna give you this prompt, but we're gonna walk through why this prompt works so well and how you need to be thinking to make winning ads for any product you wanna sell. So in this video, we have this example product, which is this shower head water filter. This is a product I've seen my own students scale to 6 figures a month, like Kunal. I've seen people scale it to 7 figures a month, but a lot of people that are trying to sell a product like this fail. Why is that? Well, it's fundamentally due to the fact that they will just half-ass their ads and website. And I'm looking at you right now. You're out there going on Callow Data on TikTok. You download a few video ads, you throw them up on Facebook, and you call it a day. That ain't going to work in 2025. Sorry, cowboy. This ain't 2018 dropshipping. But basically, most dropshippers will see this product and think, my target audience is all these people. It's probably females, 25 to 55. Maybe they could use this for their skin, their hair. I'll do a little bit of research. I'll read 1 or 2 reviews. I'll just copy my competitor's description that says all these points that look right. Call it a day. And the problem with this is that your language sounds like everybody else. What a shocker. If you have a test that you're right now taking and you're just copying from the retard that's also going to get an F, guess what? You're also going to get an F. Not the greatest strategy in the world. So maybe if we just learn how to think independently and maybe even study for the test and do our own work, we'll get much better results than everyone else who's just copying. It's a copycat league and it doesn't work with the dropshipping space. So what you want to go from, the major shift you have to do is go from thinking your target audience is this big group, big sea and crowd of people to one specific avatar. Oh, baby. The Duchess of Bay Ridge. Oh, the things I do to have one night with her. Oh my God, especially that scene. Oh, we're going to wear tight little dresses around here and mommy isn't going to wear any panties. Oh, God, you can't see it, but clean up and aisle my pants. We got to keep going though. So the first step with this prompt that I'm going to give to you in this video, if you keep watching, I'm going to link it, probably pinned comment. It's not that hard. Just use it. It's a 7-step prompt. And I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, I have to copy 7 different parts. Yes, it's super simple. It's copy and paste, but we have to break down what do you need to do to actually make sure this prompt gives you the best information to make your winning ads. Now, it first starts with data gathering. This is when you're in your little Charmander level 1 phase. Now, in this phase, we never make any assumptions about our audience. We pick a product, then we go straight into gather mode. This is like when you're on a first date, you have to listen, Max. You have to ask the right questions. You have to get to know the girl. At least pretend like you're interested. And of course, later on, you'll get what you really want. And when it comes to data gathering, what do we do here? Well, we read real customer reviews. We hop on Amazon. We go on TikTok, read the comment sections. We go on our competitors and read the reviews as well. Although usually it's going to be fake when it's your actual competitors. But Amazon is going to be the most authentic, genuine reviews. So you're going to go on here. You're going to read over what are the most common lines I see over and over and over again. Because you want to get to the point where you're really picking one ideal customer avatar. Not 2 or 3 or 4, one specific person who may have multiple different motivations and reasons to buy your product. But we really want to feel like we have that one specific avatar, that Duchess of Bay Ridge. And you're going to get that from getting a ton of reviews off of Amazon. And you can use Amazon review scraping tools, even ChatGPT, you can do that and whip it up. You can also hop on Reddit. You want to go to all these different places. And of course, also hop on what your competitors are doing. See what they're doing on their website. See what they're doing in their Facebook ad library. And yeah, move over the best lines. If you see a line where, okay, yeah, that seems to be congruent with what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of people say they buy this product for, let's say, hair care, for instance. And then in an ad for your competitor, you see a really good line about the specific emotions, how you're going to feel. You step out of the shower, you feel like a goddess. Your hair is luscious and beautiful every time. Sure, write that down. Get inspiration. It's not the end of the world. You're not going to get arrested for plagiarism around here. But you just want to get to the point where you are able to gather all this information, ideally, into one document, like this one right here, and then you trim the fat to write out your actual scripts in your product description. So you can have something that looks like this where you're copying over the best reviews. And I would say the first step to this prompt is we're going to gather all this right here. And this is the first step of questions. Who is our ideal customer? What are their triggers? And what are those core problems? So let's gather this right here, and we're just going to plug it into ChatGPT. And then the next step is we're going to ask some more sets of questions to get even more detailed, because this isn't all. We can't just have, oh yeah, who's our customer? What core problems they have? And just do surface level research. That's not going to help us stand out. So the next step of this evolution, while that's happening, is we need to do our market research. Now, I know we did a little data gathering, but if you want to get to that next step, that Charmeleon, I think it's Charmeleon. Honestly, I haven't played Pokemon in so long. That just tells you. I have not had my inner child summoned in a while, but I do remember those good old days when I was 8 years old. I had my little DS. It would be 1 a.m. My parents would think I'm asleep. They would check on me, and I would hide underneath my pillow playing my DS, beating the Elite Four like the absolute stud I was. God, miss those days. But first step in this process. So how are we going to differentiate our ads from everyone else? Well, we have to understand our customer deeper than everyone else. So why is our customer buying? What are those triggers? What's the identity? Now, I would say, and if we go into our prompt here, again, you're going to have access to this. In this next step, we talk about how we need unique features that are strong to our customers. What do they really care about? What are those phrases? So language mining, the exact reasons and ways they describe themselves and their problems. And of course, what are the outcomes, those desires, those transformations? Because that's what you're selling at the end of the day. You're not selling a product, you're selling an outcome. We don't buy products for the sake of having products. So how do we actually do that? Well, when it comes to understanding your customer, how I like to personally think of it is in a few layers. So one would be, okay, when you're reading reviews, you're going to get the surface level benefit or problem being, oh, I want to get healthier hair. That's nice and all, but what does it actually accomplish for you? Well, then let's get into the next layer, which is problem. So my problem is I might have thin, brittle hair. Now, how does that make me feel emotionally? I feel insecure. I feel embarrassed. I don't feel that good about myself. So you get into the surface level benefit, the surface level problem, the emotion, and then finally, usually, what's the identity? Who do they want to be? Who do they actually want to become? So when I have this beautiful, luscious hair, how do I feel? I feel amazing. I feel like an IG baddie. I feel like my husband's going to look at me in a completely different way. Or if I go on dates, I'm going to feel like that bitch. That is what you are really selling, usually at the end of the day. But obviously, don't want to make those assumptions. So you're going to ask those questions to ChatGPT. So let's get to that next layer. We're going to add these questions right here. And as we do that, ChatGPT will do a little bit of population, a little bit of work behind the scenes. We'll let her cook. And then part 3 has to be our product positioning. So why is this the best product? At the fundamental core of selling any product, you have to convince your customer it is the easiest, fastest, or most affordable way to get to their target desire. And of course, that means you have to understand, what is that target desire? So read reviews, use ChatGPT, use AI, summarize all this information, and then come up to a hypothesis on, okay, I believe my one customer avatar, the biggest thing they want, the biggest transformation, the biggest identity that they want to achieve, that outcome, that specific use case is X, Y, and Z. So in this instance, it's most likely, yes, the surface level thing, having nicer, healthier, more beautiful hair. But the real identity is looking your best self. It is looking like a baddie, feeling like a model, feeling like a goddess, probably in a sense. I mean, that's a very common kind of trope, but it does work. So you have to understand that. And then of course, with product positioning, you have to convince them, why is this the best thing for them? So in a lot of cases, what people will do is they'll mention a specific USP, meaning our product has a specific thing it does differently than every other type of solution. So what are they doing to get thick, luscious hair? Probably paying hundreds of dollars for expensive hair care products. Why don't those work? Well, what if we say, the reason why those don't work is because they don't solve the root problem of why your hair isn't healthy, which is actually because you're showering with hard water, with chlorine. And when that happens, it doesn't matter what hair care product you're using. You can spend thousands, you can go to the salon, you can do all that. But if you don't solve that real root issue, you're always going to have your current situation, which is making you feel embarrassed and self-conscious. So that's a way we can position our product as the best solution to them by shifting perspectives. Now, next point, overcoming buyer doubt. Typically, with any product, you're going to have certain objections. If you go on Amazon, read the frequently asked questions, people will list out the only reasons that are actually preventing them from buying today. Same thing if you go onto your competitors' product pages as well. They'll have frequently asked questions. People will be asking things. Use that information. That is golden information to be able to handle objections, read the mind of your customer, say how they're currently thinking about your product in the ad, and then be able to shift their perspective. Because if you can call it directly, I know this is how you're thinking, then people will trust you enough to realize, oh, they actually do know what's the best solution and what I'm actually looking for. The more relatable, the more direct, and the more it feels like it's a FaceTime call where you truly understand me like a therapist, the more I'm going to want to buy from your brand compared to everybody else. And that's why, honestly, I love studying from Calidata, because with Calidata, and I know I'm rambling here, those UGC creators sound so relatable because they're using the exact messaging, the exact language of how the customers would describe their exact pain points, problems, transformations, outcomes, et cetera, et cetera. So you honestly, if you're really looking for copy inspiration, go on Calidata, study the top performing UGC videos, because they are gold mine. They truly are. Those guys are better direct response marketers than 99.9% of dropshippers, and really just e-commerce brands in general, because it feels like a person's talking to me rather than a company. Now, final point, standing out in a crowded market. This is where you do need to understand, yes, what are your competitors saying? And then how can we go a layer deeper? How can we be more specific? So usually when someone's selling a product like this, yes, they will say, you're going to get beautiful, natural, luscious hair. Cool. How can we go deeper than that? And that's asking, okay, when does that matter? When it's a specific use case in your life when having beautiful hair is going to impact you. Oh, maybe it'll help you get a promotion. Oh, maybe it'll help you find your dream partner. Oh, maybe it'll just help you feel better about yourself in your everyday life. So paint that picture with emotions. A lot of people forget emotions are what sell. We're talking about marketing to impulse purchasers. Impulse purchasers are all based on buying with emotion, no logic whatsoever. They justify it later, but you actually communicate the value of your product through emotions and those specific use cases that help people picture, oh yeah, I would love that to be me. And if you can't paint that crystal clear for someone, they're just going to ignore your message. They're going to keep scrolling. So let's go and add these next questions real quick. So what hesitations, fears, or objections? Those are really, really important information, because again, that helps us read the mind of our customer, handle those objections before they even might happen. Mind reading out there. And then same thing, part 4 is going to be the standing out in a crowded market. So once you've done all that, we are absolutely cooking, ladies and gents. You are getting so much useful information. In fact, let's just take a look. So right now, ChatGPT believes our core market here, yes, is people that want, okay, better water pressure. That's interesting. That's not what I was thinking. But I never want to make any assumptions. If that's what's the main market, it's just people that are homeowners that are tired of having low water pressure, then okay, we'll market to those people. I have no problem with that. But we need to ideally pick one specific avatar. So here we got super high water pressure is what they care about, built-in filtration for hair and skin benefits. I love that. That's probably going to be the bigger transformation that will allow us to sell this product at a premium, because let's be honest, higher water pressure is, in my opinion, just a nice thing to have. It's more of a want rather than a need. So that's another thing where when you're picking your customer avatar, you have to understand, yeah, what is the biggest transformation someone can get? Is it, oh, yes, my water pressure feels better, or my skin is glowing, my hair feels so soft and luscious? What are people willing to pay more money for? So in this scenario, I would probably say I'd actually go with the second option there, because that would allow me to charge my product for a premium because of the value. It's all a value price gap at the end of the day. So obviously we're going to read the rest of this, add our questions here. Let's drop in the next prompt right here. And as that goes on and on and on, I gather all this information, I put into one Google Doc, and this usually helps me come up with that ideal customer avatar to a T. So our final step, creative strategy. This is where we get to charge our big body mode. So for this right here, this is where I want to know exactly, we got all the key information. I want to feel like I know the one person I'm trying to talk to, because when I know that one person, that's when I can write copy that's relatable to them. And it usually means that copy will be relatable to many. If I try to write to everyone, it appeals to no one. So how can we be as specific as possible? I love this prompt right here, which is summarize our customer avatar and make sure to include these key parts, which is our demographic, our psychographic. Give this person a name, specific language, et cetera, short-term goals, long-term goals. And of course, guys, play around with this. You can edit this if you want and make it even better and refine it. But I believe, for me personally, I've used this for the last few product tests, and we've had multiple winners inside my one-on-one program. It's been working incredibly well, which, just little shameless plug, if you do want to work with me personally, get access to all of my resources and prompts and all the AI tools we use to do this whole process of preparing products, making ads, product descriptions, etc., in literally an hour for a lot of products, then click the first link in the description, book a call, and I'd love to show you everything. So now, getting back into things, our customer avatar. Age 28 to 55. Okay. I say that's a little broad. I probably want it to be a bit more specific. She cares about wellness, beauty, feeling good. Yep. We really want to understand, what's her daily life like? What really gets this woman going at the end of the day? What's her desires? What's her pain points? So turning a mundane shower into a relaxing ritual. So she wants her shower to feel like a ritual. That's her safe space. She wants to feel like a spa. I can get that. That makes sense. And then of course, all these different points here. Short-term goals, quickly improve the comfort. But long-term, these are the big goals. This is what I'm really going to focus on in my ads, maintaining healthier hair and skin. Yep. She's savvy, and she wants a real solution to her hard water woes. I get that. I can definitely help you with those woes, baby girl. Okay, cool. So we got our customer persona. Final real step from here is I do like to understand, what's that awareness level that we most likely need to be hitting? Now, for a product like this, a lot of people do know about hard water, but some people don't. So maybe it actually makes sense to do a mix of unaware as one of our angles, and then maybe problem aware as well. So as we can see right here, it's breaking me down of the specific audiences. So for each awareness level, and it will give you a recommendation for which one it feels like is the best. Typically for most products, it's solution aware. People are very social media savvy and information savvy nowadays. So for me personally, typically I'm trying to market, how is this the best solution to a specific desire that you want or to get rid of a specific pain? And usually in your ads, fear is what makes people make a decision. So instead of saying, this will get you healthier hair, I'll say something like, every time you shower, you're damaging your hair. So stop damaging your hair every time you shower. And that gets people's attention because it's a pattern interrupt and it's just stronger. You're like, oh, damn. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that. People will always avoid pain more than they get pleasure. So with that in mind, our final part to this prompt is just now asking ChatGPT to come up with the ideas for what ads, what frameworks, what angles we should really be trying to hit. So this is our final step. And when you do all that, I personally like to test. Sorry, let me get this giant square out of the way. I like to pick 4 angles. So I have my one avatar. I want to pick 4 angles to speak to that one avatar. And then each angle has its own framework. So for instance, let's say we're going with the angle of this will help you with your water pressure. So in that instance, that'll be one of our angles. And then we pick a framework. So that could be problem solution. So we'll make problem solution. We'll do 4 to 5 ads. So essentially one core video with 4 to 5 different hooks to it. That's the only split test I really do. So I'll do 4 to 5 problem solution ads. And the main core idea, the main angle, get better water pressure. Because the best ads focus on one idea. You don't shove every single benefit, every single problem, every single thing that your product does into one ad. No, because that's going to just confuse people. It's going to appeal to all these different audiences and people won't know if it's specifically for them. So you want to feel like your ads are tailor-made. And the way you do that is focus on one key problem, one key transformation, and usually one key identity shift for your audience and one outcome. So with that in mind, our next angle, it could be something like, the hair angle. So getting better, luscious hair, that's the identity. And for that framework, we could just do something as like a how-to ad. So this is how I blah, 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 get desired outcome. And you write 5 different hooks. You have the same body afterwards. You have a proven structure you follow. Like for instance, if I go inside my Notion and my 101 program, shameless plug, we have all these frameworks and we even have ChatGPT's ad scripting tools. So once you do all this information, you can plug it into the ad scripting GPT and it'll write out your whole script for you. And it is incredible. It's like having me write your scripts, which honestly, I pay a hefty fee if you want to work with me as a copywriter, which I don't even do that anymore. But let's say for instance, like problem solution. So you need to have a solid script and a solid, I would say, structure to follow with each one of the things you're trying out. So you'll have 4 to 5 different hooks. You have your structure here for whatever framework you're choosing that you know is proven and works. And you can build a framework and a library on your own and definitely get a frame of reference or shortcut the learning curve and work with me. So getting back into it, let's see what our ChatGPT has come up with now. So it believes solution aware. That's also what typically is. So they already know low pressure. They already know what their problem is and they're actively looking for solutions. That makes a ton of sense. So in that point, we have to convince, why is this the best solution? Makes sense. So that is something we would definitely want to focus on. And then our final step, as we mentioned earlier, let's move over our angles. And if you do all of this in order, you're going to have all the information to come up with a specific sniper-like approach of one specific customer avatar that you were trying to talk to, and you know exactly the reasons why he or she would want to buy your product. But you just need to figure out, what's that angle? What's that idea that's going to resonate with them the most? Because you have to split test that. That's the most important thing. Because once you do all of this right here, and you figure out, angle 3, which could be the skin, is the best angle, double down. Make all of your ads specifically about that and then try more frameworks because there's unlimited frameworks. There's 30, 50, 100 different ways you can make a framework of an ad, but the core idea of the angle is always going to stay relatively the same. So keep that in mind. So let's see right here to wrap this video up today. Hopefully you learned a thing or two. Again, this will be in the pinned comment, all of this, this document with our prompts. And as you can see, the time saver, we got the pressure hero. Again, this is just a fancy name. I don't know what's being like that, but none of that really matters. Core idea, yes, hair and skin problems. So that would be the angle we go for here. And then on this next ad, yes, turning your bathroom into a spa. Those are completely different ideas, but one will definitely resonate more than the other. And that's how you want your ads to feel. They should feel different and they have these core ideas. So just to recap all the information we learned about our audience and literally a few button clicks, we now know our target audience is women that are 28 to 55, living in suburban areas. They have a home. They're ideally looking to make upgrades, make it like a spa-like experience with these home renovations. But they also do have other desires as well, which, yes, the surface level is this powerful luxurious shower, but deep down, this is the real juicy desires that we are going to be marketing to in our ads. That is what we want to focus on, those transformations. And of course, key fears, they don't want to waste money. They don't want to waste it on crappy shower heads that break too easily. So we need to handle that objection of low quality hardware and this hair damage. So handle those in our ads, and we are going to be able to read the minds of our customers. So again, this is so freaking powerful that honestly, I don't even feel like I should be giving this to you, because if it gets in the wrong hands, God knows how much money my ops could make. But because I'm just feeling a little bit generous, you guys will get access to all this. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, it's going to give you all of the awareness levels. And that awareness level, I would ideally say, just to summarize all of this, once you know that avatar, which we've already discussed in this video, pick ideally one awareness level to start. So in this case, I would go with solution aware and make sure every angle is specifically for that solution aware audience, but is handling different ideas, different benefits and ways we can message that, and different outcomes and different pain points that they're going to get rid of by buying our product. So if you do all this the right way, guys, it is going to put you so much further ahead than everyone else that is selling the same product, but is half-assing it with ripped ads and has no clue how to actually market a product. If you develop your skill of direct response, use these prompts, get these ideas, put it all in a document, start working on it and refining it, because this will definitely get you 89% of the way there. You are going to make some winning ads and have a winning product sooner rather than you could ever believe. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like if you did, and watch this video next, which is my challenge video where I actually use this prompt and a few other tools to test products live in front of you, and you can see exactly what it looks like in practice by El Mastor himself.